People, I'm Michael Botts, and the whole reason you show up here every morning, the same reason I show up here every morning, is because you know that you have more to give to the world. And we show up here to find out what that is and how to give it to the world. Man, you guys are rolling in. Jerry Botts, Laura, Mindy, bravo, bravo. I've owned a business for over 20 years. I served in the Marine Corps and I guarded President Reagan and President Bush. I've raised and am raising 4 beautiful, amazing children. And all those things, I've had epic failures. And I've had tremendous success. And I've taken all that failure and success and I've put it into a success formula. And we show up here every morning at 9 a.m. to go over success, to keep moving down the road of success. Now, success is paved with gratitude. And so we want to start with gratitude. Gratitude is the foundation of all success. Anyone you see that's successful, they have started with gratitude. Jerry Botts putting it in. Grateful for my children and grandchildren. Absolutely. Thank you, Jerry Botts. So that's what you want to do is you want to put in, I am grateful for, thumbs probably, I am grateful for fresh, clean drinking water, and I am enough. That's how you want to type it in, and I'll read it as long as they, yesterday I think I missed a few. I'm sorry about that. But I want to remind you, I'm grateful for teachers, and I am enough. Beautiful, beautiful. I want to remind you that you were born genius. You were born epic. You were born to change the world. And if your heart is still beating, you're supposed to be impacting the world. You have more to offer the world if your heart is still beating. Don't think it's too late. Don't think you're too fat. Don't think you're too old. Don't think you're too rich. Don't think you're too poor. None of that is true. If your heart is beating, you have more to offer the world. But we get caught in the riptide of life and we get sucked under the ocean of am I enough? And in the ocean of am I enough, we start to breathe doubt and fear and limiting beliefs, and we start to get full of that. And in the doubt and the fear and the limiting beliefs, we're trying to move down the road of success and offer our gifts to the world. But we keep falling down and there's misery and frustration. And the whole purpose of this show is to pull you out of the ocean of am I enough, up onto the beach of I am enough. Start resuscitating you. You spew out doubt. You spew out fear. You spew out limiting beliefs. And you start to walk down the path of success in a way that you haven't walked down the path of success in a long time or ever. Now, I know you succeeded. You succeeded at learning to walk. You succeeded at learning to talk. But then when you got that doubt, fear, and limiting beliefs, you started to fall down and lose your confidence. And that's why we're here. We're here to build you, to recreate the genius and the epic in you. Absolutely. Take a drink. Coffee. Now we're going to take some breaths. The reason we take these breaths, it's so important, is because it creates space. And when there is space, in the space is where solutions happen. In the space is where the next part of your, art project comes together. If you're working on art and you're stuck, if you create space, the solution will show up. If you're working on an app and you're stuck, when you create space, the solution will show up. Billy Fosnot says, I'm grateful for being here and I am enough. Good job. Good job. I'm glad you're here too. We're here every morning and would love to have you. So we're going to create some space now. Now, participate in this. If you just watch, you might get something out of it. But if you participate, you're going to get space. Mindy says, I'm thankful for my home and that I am able to remodel. All right, Mindy, I am enough. I had to move. I got my video blocking a little bit. Good job, Mindy. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Mindy. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Laura. I'm grateful that you guys put your gratefuls in. Now let's make some space. Ready? Let's breathe in. Ready? Breathe in. Exhale. Caitlin says, I'm grateful for your passion and guidance and that good Lord woke me up today. Yes, thank you, Caitlin. I'm happy you're here, Caitlin. Okay, breathe in. Exhale, down. should actually start to feel some space. I always feel it in the back of my neck, coming off my shoulders and down off my chest, and it feels like heavy stones falling off of me. I become lighter, and space and solution start to show up. We'll do one more. Ready? Breathe in. Exhale. All right. Guess what we're talking about today? Now, we're just going to get started today. There's no way to finish this in 13 to 15 minutes. Even if we just did the whole show on self-discipline, we still wouldn't complete it. So, what I'd love for you to write in your comments is, how have you been, what is some self-discipline that you're really proud of? Something that you're just like, man, I am killing it, or I killed it in that area at one point in my life. Now, one of the things that I'm really proud of is I drive my kids to school almost every day. And from the very first day that I drove them to tomorrow or next week when I drive them, they're on spring break, I have created the habit or the self-discipline to always do some self-talk with my kids. I build them up. We talk about some spiritual stuff. But I start saying, I say what I say, and then they start to repeat after me. And it is beautiful. And I've had them do it, but I am proud of that self-discipline. I am proud that that became a part of our lives and is still a part of our lives. And my dream would be that the self-discipline, now maybe it doesn't sound like self-discipline, but we're going to really dig into that as we go through this series. But it is self-discipline, because if it happens every day, I had to make myself do it. You know, I have this civil war going on inside of me almost every day. I have this self-disciplined self. And it is beautiful, and he's epic, and he's disciplined, and he's focused, and also have the free spirit. And so for the longest time, I think part of my anxiety, part of the reason I struggle and have these really lows and these really highs is because of this civil war of self-discipline and free spirit. And I feel like they were facing each other, and they were battling, and they were at wits' ends. The self-discipline's like, you have to do these 3 things today, or these 5 things today. You have to do them every day. This is going to create wealth. This is going to create freedom. This is going to create health in you. And the free spirit's like, I don't want to do those every day. I want to go outside. I'm smart. I can figure out a way to do it without doing those every day. So this is going on inside of my head. I don't know if it goes on inside of your head, but it's like, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Come on. Because I could get going for a little bit, and then I'd get off track. And I'd get going for a little bit, and I'd get off track. And that free spirit was battling the self-discipline. You know, the free spirit of me, I see like a wild horse with no fences, and out there beautiful and powerful and free. And the self-discipline to me is like, you know, this beautiful chiseled soldier, you know, Navy SEAL-ish, Marine-ish looking. And daily he does his self-discipline. He saves his 10%. He does his dailies. He does his exercise. He eats right. You know, that kind of thing. And so those 2 things seem to be at battle. But then I found a mentor, Jack Spencer, love this guy, genius, multi-millionaire, and he had the freedom to pay cash for his kids' college. He had the freedom to take his whole family, kids, spouses, everybody on a first-class cruise. Everything first class. Spent like $28,000 on all these people to go on this first-class cruise. But he had ridiculous self-discipline. He could show you what he paid for his electric bill every year for the last 20 years, every month. I mean, the discipline in this guy was ridiculous. So I'm sitting at his feet. How do I succeed? How do I succeed? His wife adores him. His kids adore him. He's admired in the community. He's serving ridiculous amounts of people. He has created multimillionaires. And so I'm just like, how is he doing this? And so I'd get the self-discipline part of me would be like, see, he's so disciplined, he's so focused. And the free spirit would be like, look at him. He wakes up when he wants to. He goes on cruises and pays for it. He's traveling. He's going to Hawaii. He's going to Jamaica. What is going on here? Why is that not happening to me? And finally, after much delay and dismay and brokenness and sad and angry and frustration and brutally just abusing myself, I came to this moment where I was like, it's not either or, Michael. It's not either you're self-disciplined or your free spirit. And the motto, the thing that came out of it that's really powerful is, the most disciplined is the most free. I just want to let that soak in, because it was a transformation for me. I mean, it's changed my life. I could get emotional about it, because the most disciplined is the most free. I had the free spirit and the disciplined fighting each other, battling inside this inner civil war, and the collateral damage was my family and my business and my body and my future. And when I got those two to come alongside each other and work together, it changed everything. It changed how I saw failure. It changed how I saw success. It changed how I did things daily. It changed everything, guys. And I want to offer that to you. So for the next few days, every morning at 9 a.m., we're going to dig into this self-discipline thing. And what I want you to do is, in the comments, I want you to write something you're really proud of a self-discipline, a time that you had self-discipline. I think one of the things that the free spirit does is the free spirit tells you, or maybe it's not the free spirit, maybe it's am I enough, says, look, you're not self-disciplined because you only did that for a year. You only did that for 6 months. You only did that before the cruise. You only did that because that big event was coming up. But wait a minute, you still did it. I don't agree. That is am I enough, trying to trick you into believing that you're not self-disciplined. When really, who cares why? Who cares why? If it was before the cruise, it was before the next event, if you were running from something or towards something, you were self-disciplined at something at some point. So the whole comments I want today, as we dig into this self-discipline and really stop these people from battling self-discipline and free spirit, and get them to collaborate so we can transform our lives, grow our businesses, make more money, healthier, wealthier, happier. I want you to comment and tell me something that you're proud of, a moment in your life where you had self-discipline, whether it was 40 days, 40 years. See, I think it's funny because as I'm saying it, I know some of you are going, you know, if I didn't do it my whole life, then I'm not self-disciplined. If I did it for a year and then I bailed off, that means I'm not self-disciplined. And that is so much crap. That is not the truth, guys. The truth is that you did have self-discipline, and if we get that and dissect that, we can get you back to self-discipline. Remember, the most disciplined is the most free. Michelle wrote hers in here. She wrote, I am proud that I am staying true to my new way of eating. I love that, Michelle. That is fantastic. And I love that about you, and congratulations. And that is what we're going to dissect tomorrow. We're going to start breaking these disciplined moments down, because they have some keys, and if we can figure out those keys, we can start being self-disciplined all the time. Because if you're self-disciplined, doesn't mean that you don't take a break. Doesn't mean that there's time off. I mean, I think one of the things I struggled with is I would be self-disciplined and then I would be scared to take a day off. I think I might still be at this. I'm scared to take a day off because I'm afraid I'm going to flail if I take a day off. Caitlin says, I gave up pasta and for Lent, and it's helped me realize that I can stay focused and determined when I have, let me see if I can see the rest of that. Something big to work for. Caitlin's saying that a goal matters. Bill says, I'm proud that my sons earned their Eagle Scout ranks, which made us 3 generations of Eagle Scouts. Wow. That's beautiful. Mindy says, I'm proud that I'm being faithful in coming here Tuesday and Friday for 2 weeks. Beautiful, Mindy. I love that. And Bill, I'm so proud of you for that, man. That took self-discipline. Dragging those kids there all the time. You know, and having Eagle Scouts, man, I told my sister, Laura said, hang on, Bill, I'm going to say it. Laura said, I'm proud of the fact my self-discipline can vary every day according to the circumstances. Yeah, you're adjustable in your self-discipline. I told my sister, Bill, that she has her son in Boy Scouts, and I said, don't quit that, because those kids that have that Eagle Scout, it separates them. So I'm proud of you for that, Bill. And Mindy, thanks for coming. I'm grateful that you come. So that's it for today, guys. I love you. I care about you. Keep commenting. Keep saying. We're going to break this self-discipline thing down. But I want you to become aware today of your self-discipline and your free spirit. And let's see if we can start to get them to collaborate as opposed to butting heads. Hey, share this video. You know it's going to help somebody. It helped you. So that does me a favor if you share it. Like the video. And also, I want you to leave your comments. Your comments matter. Mindy says, I needed this today. It makes sense. Thank you, Mindy. That means so much to me. Thank you guys for being here. I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Have a great day. We'll finish there. How do you end this?